Today on Junk Wax Genius, a couple of packs from 1993. Neither of them, strictly speaking, are wax. They're both in tamper-proof foil. This is as brands were starting to get a tighter focus, let's say, on the quality of the cards and not just producing 792 of whatever and trusting that consumers would buy them. We've got 93 Select, kind of an upscale score brand, easy for me to say, and 1993 Upper Deck Series 1. Some of the prettiest base cards. I mean, Upper Deck kind of premium, but thinking outside of things like Ultra, Stadium Club, Leaf, just Upper Deck is a baseline brand. Gorgeous cards. We'll begin with the Select. Again, 15 cards in here, green borders, nice gloss effect that they use on the cards that we'll talk about. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. It is a channel where a grown man opens old baseball cards and talks about it. Generally, that time period is 1987 to 1994, but we're free to give and take. There's Willie Banks starting us off. Nice landscape layout there for Ben Rivera. The Athletic John Valentine. Henry Rodriguez. Notice, keep an eye on that Score Select logo. They kind of bounce it around in the frame. I guess there it was least impacting on the photo. Kind of blends into the background though. I'm okay with that. Jeff Parrott, top center. Kurt Stillwell with the Padres. Mike Bordick. Milt Thompson. Jose Lind, chewing on his Oakleys. Jody Reed. The athleticism from Chris Sabo. Nice card. Mitch Williams. Tony Gwynn, excellent. Sweet Oakleys on Tony. Cecil Fielder. And Andy Van Slyke. We'll take a quicker look or a deeper look at our Tony Gwynn. So take a look at the gloss. See how the studio lights are really reflective over the photo itself. But as I tilt the photo, those lights, when they hit the green, no gloss. I think that's a nice touch. Just the photo is glossy on these cards. You do have a big color photo on the back of each of these. You also have the tamper-proof or the counterfeit-proof little barcode there. I do have the decoder. Check the archives for an example of me decoding, me authenticating some Score Pinnacle cards. And nice bio information there as well. Tony Gwynn, Chris Sabo, couple of nice cards. I guess Andy Van Slyke, Cecil Fielder, sure, stars of the day. We'll take it out of our 93 Select. On to the 93 Upper Deck. Holographically enhanced, maybe some inserts. I already found the Will Clark from the Upper Deck Use collection. Great card. Willie Mays, collector holograms. And then there's this little notch up here. Let's see if I can get a clean rip. Nope, they always fail right about there. All right, I get out the little safety scissors. See if I can open it up a little better. There you go. Lovely cards. The color saturation on these is fantastic. Now they're free. Not only tamper-proof, but intentionally open-proof. And we begin with Kevin Brown. Look at how vivid the blues are in those Ranger uniforms. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the font there. It reminds me of Mistral, one of the fonts that came by default with Windows computers. We've talked about this. The Bash Brothers. No, the Bash Brothers are Canseco and McGuire, not photoshopped Ruben Sierra. There's no way he's standing there in that scene at that moment with Mark McGuire. No way. Will Cordero says he plays for the Expos, so that must be Will Cordero. That's the kind of insight you turn to Junk Wax Genius to find. Hal Morris jumping into the crowd. There's Sammy Sosa. I've heard of him. Felix Jose. Checklist card. We don't have time for me to read all those names. We'd be here all day. Derek Bell, again, vivid blues. gorgeous. Joe Baver. Bobby Bonilla. Mark Whitten, having a little joke there. Was that Larry Walker that put his helmet on backwards in an All-Star game when he was facing Randy Johnson? I think that was Larry Walker. Maybe it was John Kruk. Somebody moved to the other side of the plate after Randy Johnson uncorked like some wild fastball. He's like, put his helmet on backwards so he could stand on the other side. Where's Waldo? Which one is Gary Gaetti? Well, we know that that's not Gaetti. That's not Gaetti. I'm betting it's him. Bill Gullickson. Again with the landscape cards for David Cohn as a Blue Jay. And Bernard Gilkey. There's our 93 Upper Deck. Just beautiful cards. Nice gloss. Again, take a look at the studio lights there. Gleaming in the gloss. Front and back. Beautiful colors there. All right, it's Junk Wax Genius. It's the channel on YouTube where we open old baseball cards and talk about it. 2 packs a day minimum here on the main channel. We'll see you tomorrow with 2 more, guaranteed. Thanks for watching.